Triple H says that Rey Mysterio gets a kind of title shot because he didn't lose the belt. So Bryan should get a title shot right because he never lost the belt either.
By that logic, yeah. And on the other hand, I mean, hey, Daniel Bryan, instead of asking for a title rematch that he thinks he might deserve, no, I'm going to enter the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And now here's Tyler Warner and Wade Kearns.
Yes, and speaking of the Royal Rumble, it is coming up this Sunday on the WWE Network, of course. And yeah, I mean, we're coming off of the Raw reunion show, I guess is what they called it. You know, a couple of old familiar faces, I guess, showing up on the show, and go home show, Raw reunion, having some I guess typical segments from legends that you would have anticipated being involved with on this show. Now to start, I guess starting things off, I mean, it was of course Martin Luther King Day, so they had a nice little video package there.
Yes, plus a standing ovation in the arena.
Right, a standing ovation, and yeah, I mean, it was obviously it's important for WWE to show that kind of stuff and put those kind of video packages together. But of course, I guess starting the show off, I guess the actual part of Monday Night Raw was none other than Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Coming out to the ring, and Brock Lesnar right off the bat, before Paul Heyman can even introduce himself, Brock Lesnar's.
Yeah, Brock's might work. I mean, in small doses, is not bad.
Yeah, and I mean,
we all remember his infamous very long, drawn out promo they cut on Extreme Rules, which is what led to Paul Heyman.
Yeah, like the next week, or whatever. Next week, Paul Heyman comes out to Brock Lesnar's music, of course, as we remember, but yeah. I mean, in small doses and in these backstage segments too that he's in. I mean, Brock Lesnar kind of just coming out and saying, I'm here to fight.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, baby, I'm gonna kick your ass and whatever, your weasel ass, and short and sweet.
Getting cheers.
Yeah, and I mean, considering what went out throughout the night,
which to me proves if they can get Brock to stay, you can turn this guy babyface if you want to.
Yeah.
And actually the best opponent might be a Rollins or someone else who has just as much heel heat, really.
Rocket science, people.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll get to that later on too, since you had Brock in the beginning, Brock sort of in the middle for a little, and Brock at the end. So, so yeah, we'll get to more of that as we go through. But yeah, I mean, of course, kind of just calling Seth Rollins out right away, and Seth Rollins was, shown backstage or whatever. I guess
well, that was after the Authority came out.
Yeah, after the Authority
with Big Show and Kane as like enforcers.
Yeah, kind of like trying to.
Calm Brock down.
Yeah, like hold on, bro.
Paul going, that's a real ticket.
Wait a second.
That's a real ticket, Brock.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, even Triple H like proposed, like, why don't we settle down? Maybe get you a nice steak or something.
Like sweet sour pork.
Yeah, something about that on Raw like a few months ago when Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar came out at the beginning of the show. Then they're off to go eat steak again.
Yes.
Felt kind of like the like deja vu a little bit there.
Well,
with Triple H.
Well, they actually came out of a steakhouse and TMZ guy happened to be
they
there.
should. Yeah. So maybe they're like playing up on that here. Triple H is playing up on that. Like, I don't know, but and yeah, I mean Seth Rollins, of course, on the Titantron while a little back and forth there, and then of course Cena coming out, of course wearing yet another new T-shirt.
Yes.
This time kind of going with I guess a typical blue here. So, I guess get that in WWEshop.com today for those who collect the shirts. And, I mean, this was like right when, Paul Heyman was saying, Brock Lesnar's going to walk out the champion, whatever, of course, Cena interrupting. And then I guess, we'll get to Seth Rollins and his, I guess his little reference, or I don't know, his little slip up, I would assume, tucking his legs between his legs or whatever.
He bossed the promo. And,
and like I think he kind of knew it, and he said, tail between my legs. He tried to like correct himself after that.
I mean, to his credit, there he actually did correct
he
it
did.
pretty
He
fast.
did. Yeah.
There's plenty of guys that probably would have had a deer in the headlights moment
Yeah.
then, and then just like all of a sudden forgot what they were supposed to say in that.
Yeah. But yeah, I give credit to Cena for then kind of picking up on that and saying, well, I don't know how I'm gonna tuck my legs between my legs or whatever. You know.
I mean, immediately after some of you heard that, Twitter exploded with the classic Owen Hart promo where after he portrayed his brother Brett, like say like, I'm the reason your leg kicked your leg or something like that or something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to forget what he said there, but it was like I immediately even thought of that moment too there, but
Yeah.
which is like a boss by Owen as well in that, but I mean so. No, but I think Seth did a great job like correcting him right away.
Yeah. And not only
But
that,
yeah, no, I was gladly seen a caught in
Like-
there because even when I heard that, I'm like,
it was good. Yeah.
leg between your legs.
Yeah. It made it feel like, a little more loose, kind of like we've been saying before, like, we should maybe let these guys improvise a little more with what they say. We know Cena's good at that, and it's not the first time he's improvised like
Yeah, but
that.
maybe no thing about it. Everything said was by a script, pretty
Right,
much.
yeah. Everything, yeah.
Even Brock's small sentences were probably
Yeah.
scripted in well.
But, for like, going back to a guy like Roman Reigns, for instance, like when, back in the summer when, there were Cena sucks chants and
Yeah.
Reigns was out there and, Reigns kind of capitalized it. He went off script and, kind of just said that before he made his,
Well, he was
got
trying-
to the point and,
Well, he's doing what a lot of guys I think should do, which
Should
is
do, yeah.
playing with the crowd pretty much.
right, yeah,
There's some guys that because I even think Rollins did this early on there when
yeah,
I agree.
when it was in Chicago and a loud CM Punk chant broke out. All Rollins did was just say nothing.
yeah,
He even like acknowledged the crowd. He just like, tried to ignore it pretty much, and it came off terrible on television. I remember because he eventually like just started picking up where he left off there, but because I guess he came to the conclusion that the crowd just was not going to shut up in that. So,
yeah.
but it looked he looked great then. But I think he's coming off as a more comfortable heel now. He obviously is more hated than Brock Lesnar is because as soon as Brock wants to kick the guy's ass, everybody's just waiting for him to do it pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Cena, like a good example there of, like him or hate him. I mean, good
Mhm.
example of kind of, picking up something there that wasn't supposed to happen and I guess utilizing it in
Yes.
the promo there. So,
I think I might have been wrong, but I think when they eventually panned over the Heyman, you kind of had like Paul's like mouth over
yeah.
hand over his mouth, as if like trying not to laugh. When
Yeah. And you could hear, too, like, after the slip up, like, you could hear a little bit of the crowd, like,
going oh.
yeah, you could tell, like,
And
right,
even Rollins like had the reaction there of
Yeah.
like oh shit.
like like a non kayfabe real life reaction, whatever you could call it. But yeah, so basically then Triple H, the Authority,
Mhm.
here we go again with all this potential to bring back the guys that Cena supposedly got fired. Obviously later on in the night, Cena would be put in another match. Well, I guess first it was, up to the WWE Universe, as they say, should John Cena put his title in, was, an overwhelming 85% yes.
Here's the funniest thing about the app vote, which was that they say it, and then maybe some people on Twitter said, well, we should just all vote no confidence in Cena. Maybe then the show might end an extra hour early because really, if everybody says no, then Cena doesn't have to do a match later in the evening. Then I guess, but then it was. Then I think they kind of corrected it by saying that no, you understand it. It's just to the fans of confidence in Cena. Really, Cena, I think he's gonna make his decision that it's not gonna be like based on the poll or anything.
Yeah.
So I believe it's like if someone said there, like is the vote a binding vote, as in whatever the results are, that's what Cena has to do.
Right. Yeah.
It's like no, well then who cares?
Yeah.
100% of people in that audience could vote. We all do not believe in John Cena, because and Cena will still go out there and probably cut a promo then backstage saying, "I'll prove all you wrong," then
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, that's just my little thought on the app vote. I thought it was a pointless vote.
Yeah. And
Honestly, the whole segment when Cena came out started getting pointless.
yeah.
Because all of a sudden it went from Brock wanting to kick Rollins' ass to
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's all about John Cena.
Yeah.
In fact, there were moments I even forgot Brock was even out in the ring until they showed him on camera. Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden, he just went quiet.
Yeah, it's easier for that to happen too when you got all these other, you got the entire authority and, henchmen out there and Seth Rollins up on the Titantron. And,
Yeah, but
you know.
you know what I mean? It went from... It started off great.
It started off
it's
with a
like
bang,
Brock,
yeah.
it's like Brock wants payback for
Brock's here,
for Rollins attacking him there. But then, it's all about John Cena. But apparently the new storyline of John Cena is that the new storyline of him now is that apparently he's a loser and he fails at life, apparently.
Yeah.
That's the new story we're going to give Cena now.
Yeah, at least according to, Seth Rollins there in the Titantron.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself?
Basically calling him out as a loser there.
Yeah.
And so, you had the app vote. You had Cena backstage with Renee Young there and, kind of saying like, I like that it's 85 because I believe that, it's the WWE Universe believes that I can, bring these guys back and whatever and that I won't lose or whatever. So, then of course, later on, I guess before we get to it, Triple H would make it a 3-on-1 handicap match. Seth Rollins this time with Big Show and Kane, of course.
Yes.
Of
course, with an actual drum roll and a horn.
Yeah, they had the. Yeah, it was weird. Like they were like, I don't know. Stephanie and Triple H were there, and there's this for whatever reason, there's this guy there with the doing these drum rolls.
Yeah.
And and then of course they had more names to announce. So it was like, no, you got to keep you
Keep
got
going.
to do it again.
Yeah.
And everything, and then as it's ending, they have all of a sudden there's a guy standing there with a trumpet or whatever,
a trumpet,
and, playing taps there on the in the middle of the segment there. So
Yes.
it was a bit of an awkward sequence of events there, I guess. So.
I mean, obviously the funniest moment of the night was after Mizdow did his Xbox impersonation.
Yeah.
Backstage, Kevin Nash felt like an offhanded comment, and it felt like it was scripted. Everyone was like, "What kind of show are you running here?" And then Troy just going like, "I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of this show."
Yeah. So
I actually got a chuckle out of that.
Yeah. And I guess going back, I guess earlier in the night for the as things happen.
I do have a little problem with Triple H dead. It actually is a Twitter photo that's starting to really pick up steam down the internet. During the main event.
Oh, I might not have even noticed it. But.
You would not catch it on television.
Yeah.
But it was taken in the arena during the main event.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We get to in the main event.
Yeah.
We'll get to talk about the main event.
And speaking of Twitter, I don't know. Like this is now like a couple weeks old, but I believe it was a couple weeks ago when I guess what happened 2 weeks ago with Cena when Triple H and Stephanie McMahon had their official first night back on Raw, and it was John Cena Appreciation Night, and supposedly that night like Triple H got some kind of award or whatever.
Yes.
I forget what it was called, but it was outside of WWE. It wasn't in storyline or anything.
It was like some sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, some sports
an
Hall
actual
of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
An actual,
not WWE Hall of Fame. An actual Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So on and this outraged other people. So on John Cena,
John congratulated him.
WWE, him. So it's like it's supposed to be a WWE Universe Twitter handle here, and it goes like out of kayfabe or whatever. It's
not so it's a Universe like Twitter feed. It is his official Twitter feed though. Overseas,
yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Well, no, but you're putting the pointer of social media accounts now.
It's like it blurs the lines.
That's always the problem with these here titles because it's almost like Rollins and and Edge in that. I mean, Rollins thanked Edge and Christian for the Raw segment there because he really thought that he got a lot of nice heel heat out of it there. And Edge is just saying like, yeah, we gave you the ball, kid. Don't drop it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so now these two guys, went from in storyline fashion, we're gonna friend the lawsuit the company in that to hey, congrats, kid, hell of a segment you did there and that,
Yeah.
And once again, that's a flaw now with these Twitter handles here is that one of these guys go kayfabe and one of these when these guys break character, when should these guys not break character?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a yeah. I mean, keep in mind here, I think it's ridiculous that some Cena fans just flipped out on John Cena because they thought that Triple H is really that big of a dick in real life.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, not saying that he's never been a dick in real life, but to say that he's that big of a dick in real life, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, I remember like being a member of the Solid Martial Sounds of closed group in that.
Yeah.
By the way, I get to see what my Rumble number was going to be in the Rumble match coming up. I'm involved in one of those like polls that they does for like 30 other groups in that guys in the group in that. But one of the guys was showing tweets after a Raw after Rollins beat Cena by cheating in that, and it's like all the I swear either these fans are 10. Or they're just stupid the people in the world there. They're like calling out like Seth saying like you're not better than John Cena. Yeah. You may think you are, but you're not. Yeah. You know, like as if they actually believe in this shit is real in that. It's like if you're 10 or 8 maybe I can see how you come to that conclusion. But if you're like a 30-year-old, you know.
Yeah. What's the matter with
you?
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess
So, but it's like, oh, it's all about respect there. You know, it's not about the person. It's about respecting, you know, blah, 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 and all that there. You know, the guy has a lot of accomplishments in that.
Right.
So, of course, he even tried to stay in character during it as well. And that, which, you know, I mean, once again, my response on Twitter would have been, you were a bunch of dumb idiots.
Yeah.
It's storyline.
Yeah.
This is the real guy.
Yeah.
Not the character, the real person.
Yeah, so.
But of course, John Cena keeps telling people in promos, my character's not my character. That's really me in real life here.
Yeah.
So he actually does just like a 10-year-old in real life. Except, of course, on Total Divas, because I never really see him wear his merch in real life in the public on that show. So,
imagine if he did.
Yeah.
That would, you know.
You could actually do a.
I'd watch it just to laugh at that.
An episode of like Nikki Bella like saying like, John, do you have to wear that on a date? Yes, honey. It's part of my character.
Make a
I can't disappoint the kids when I walk out on the street randomly.
Make a parody of that.
Yeah.
But.
It's like, John, go raise your own kids soon. Yeah. I don't want to see their dad just like a 10-year-old walk around the house.
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel Bryan, you know, wearing his wrestling gear, you know, or just everyone in general, you know, dressing how they.
I actually wouldn't mind them actually just doing a reality show where all the characters are playing like all the guys are just playing in their character the entire time.
Yeah.
Like Kane is like actually like wearing a mask in real life in that, and he's actually like the demon spawn of like Satan in that. Like that would be an entertaining reality show because that really is an alternate reality that we're living in.
Yeah.
You have actually like Bray Wyatt like in the backwoods.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Seriously, someone pitched the hell out of the show here. How is that not like an entertaining show?
Roman Reigns is always like, you know, throughout the show wearing his shield gear and everything.
Dean Ambrose is out in the middle of the desert getting with his family of what did he say? Let's think like SummerSlam like wolves or coyotes.
Yeah,
like,
something like
so his family of wolves and coyotes in the middle of the desert.
Back in the back during that Shield documentary or whatever. On the road to SummerSlam or whatever it was, and but yeah, I guess anyways, you know, getting back to Raw. Fairly early in the show, you had Daniel Bryan against Bray Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan losing with, I guess, you know, distraction from Kane, but I mean, his first, you know, match back, I guess, since, you know, really in months. And
I actually thought he made a mistake by doing that though, because one of the things you could have plugged was just his return, his actual returns at the Rumble and that. But now, if anything, it shows everybody that the guy's healthy now.
Yeah,
he's doing the same bumps he's been doing.
Doing flips off the.
Obviously, Kane interfered to promote their match on SmackDown on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, actually tonight, taped it with the stipulation that if Bryan loses, he's out of the Rumble then. Right. So, obviously, it was a distraction roll-up. God, we had a lot of those in this show.
Yeah.
But this one, I think made somewhat sense just because they were feuding in that.
Yeah. So yeah, you had that. You had Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose face off.
Dean and Bad News Barrett.
Dean and Bad News Barrett, yeah. mixing up
Bray
bad.
Ford.
I'm mixing up.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said Bay Bear. Mixing the syllables up there.
Actually, it's kind of funny. Do you know that it was the second match on the show, and that was 90 minutes into the show?
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of other things. Yeah, I mean different things going on.
I mean, this was after the Legends panel, I believe, as well. So I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, no. So anyway, so
yeah. Speaking of the Legends panel.
Okay, well, I mean, I just want to, since we call it Ambrose wins in that, but once again, it's proving how ridiculous holding an Intercontinental Championship belt has to be right now. You always lose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
like it's like so it's almost like people complain about Ziggler getting screwed. It's like I think that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Because you're a loser when you hold these belts. Unless of course you're Rusev, you have an undefeated winning streak going for you. That's the only exception. That's the only exception to the rule right now. If it's anybody else, they're losers with the belt.
Right.
So the belt's kryptonite for a lot of guys in there. But no, Ambrose finally got a win. Finally got a win somewhere.
Right.
So I guess he has some momentum going into the Rumble. But the Legends panel.
But yeah, the Legends panel, of course, familiar set of characters there. Is the one they
all
had
Rumble
a few
winners
months ago. Yeah.
Shawn won 95, 96. Hogan won 90 and 91. Flair won 92. And recently saw the 92 one on the network and that. It's still one of the best Rumbles ever. Granted, that ending though, Hogan gets eliminated by Sid Justice clean. And they cheers. And all of a sudden Hogan is grabbing Sid's arm and actually helps Flair eliminate Sid, and Flair's still a heel at the time in that. It's just like, man, Hogan was such a heel back in the day. But it was a different time in that, so you couldn't boo Hogan in that. But it's like, damn, what a heel move there. And I mean, even watching when they showed Flair winning, it's like they're trying, the way the angle shows that it looks like Flair tosses Sid out. But the angle, if you get a different angle, it's Hogan clearly is yanking Sid also out from the outside too in that. So I don't know. I always laugh at that. Not to mention Bobby the Brain Heenan's commentary that entire match was hilarious. Flair coming out number 3. No one ever won that high up.
Yeah.
So almost everybody's assuming. Like Grill Monsoon's like assuming right off the bat. Well, there's no way Flair's gonna win this match here.
Yeah.
And every time Flair was about to get tossed out, you have Bobby like freaking out, going, "Oh no! And he's like saying to God, God, please give me this moment. I won't do anything bad in my life again."
Oh my God!
It was just like, oh my God, Bobby, man. Everybody talks about Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler as the best commentary tandem. You listen to Monsoon and Heenan; those two guys just went so well together in commentary. But no, I remember watching that. It's still one of the best Rumbles ever.
Yeah.
Not to mention Flair's promo at the end, saying it was the greatest moment of his career and that, and a tear in my eye, and I mean that match was just perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I thought it was kind of interesting. I guess when they were predicting who was going to win this year's Royal Rumble, and Ric Flair went with Dean Ambrose.
Yep. Hogan, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and Bray Wyatt was predicted by Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
And I mean, I thought it was interesting, how like none of them picked Roman Reigns, of course.
Well, Tyler, that was done intentionally.
Right, exactly. I thought it was like interesting, like they want to
which
have these other names
which to me, based on this, almost confirms Reigns is winning the Rumble.
Yeah.
What's the storyline here now?
Right.
That all 3 legends now believe Reigns has a shot in hell winning the Rumble there. And what makes me even more terrifying, the fact that it's Big Show he's feuding with.
Yeah.
That's the final 2 right there in the Rumble match.
Big Show, Big Show comes.
Big Show somehow going to make it to the final 2 in that. Which, it's like most predictable finish to a Rumble if you get there. If you at least have Bryan or Ambrose, or maybe even Ziggler now, because now since, spoiler alert, they got their jobs back now. Yeah. They could technically be in this Rumble match.
Right.
As well this Sunday, but it's like, if it's on the Big Show and Reigns, everybody knows Reigns is... Big Show's never getting a world title shot again. Yeah. He's lucky to even... Once again, I laughed. And I didn't bring this up last week either. When he's talking about how he beat Hulk Hogan, like early in his career in WCW and that, it's like, by disqualification. Yeah. He won the belt off of a DQ. Then he got stripped of the belt a week later. And what he forgot to mention also was that after he won the belt by disqualification, him and a mummy came down and sexually assaulted Hulk Hogan with the most awkward bear hug I ever saw in my life. Don't believe me, Tyler. Watch Halloween Havoc. It was like 1995 on the network. Yeah. Get to the end of the match. First of all, watch the ridiculous sumo monster truck match between the Giant and Hulk Hogan on top of a skyscraper, and then watch the Giant supposedly fall off a building, and Hogan's acting going, "Oh God, oh God."
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
But no, watch the ending and watch the this mummy-like being come down, which apparently was called the Yeti, or as Tony Schiavone called it, it's the Yeti, the Yeti. And then just watch one of the most awkward bear hugs ever given to somebody. It's like you have Hogan in the middle, you got the Giant on one end, the Yeti on the other end. They're both tall guys in that, and they're kind of like crushing Hogan like a sandwich. But then they're trying to pretend that they're grabbing him there. But it looks like they're both humping him kind of in the middle there. It's like Hogan's getting sexually assaulted on television. Seriously, Halloween Havoc 1985 title, the network, just watch to the end, because the whole pay-per-view itself is just ridiculous. But we're talking about like early WCW here.
Yeah.
But watch that finish, and it's just like what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
But it's not to mention on this promo right here, the fact that he said you guys are over the hill in that.
Yeah.
And it's like, look who's talking, 42-year-old man right now. Who everybody believes should just go away. Go far away.
Yeah. Yeah, not only that, I mean he's been the blame in my opinion with, this is boring chants popping up when, Roman Reigns, new.
No one gives.
Nothing,
He's like Kane in that. It's like I'm sorry, you guys are way past your prime. I'm sure you guys will always have a job in this company here, but it's like, stop being a focal point on television. just stop it. I don't care if you're putting guys over. Just stop doing it. You're not helping anybody.
Yeah.
Especially him on the microphone. Good God. Big Show on the microphone. It took him forever. It takes him forever to get to Roman Reigns' name on promo sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my God. So anyway,
So Roman Reigns comes out.
After Ric Flair got knocked out by Big Show.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. Then afterwards they.
You would have thought maybe Shawn would get beat up too in that. Of course, Hogan would not get beat up because his body's so frail now that a twig could probably break a bone in his body.
I was actually waiting for a sweet chin music out of nowhere, but instead Roman Reigns came out, which is it's fine too. But I mean,
there was that awkward moment there where Shawn had that kind of awkward moment with Hogan, and they brought SummerSlam 2005 again.
Yeah, it's like let's do it again.
Once again, if you want to watch Michael do some of the most ridiculous bumping I've ever seen in my life, watch SummerSlam 2005. I swear to you, I think Shawn was trying to piss off Hogan somehow. Yeah. Some of the bumps he took there. There's a montage on YouTube to yakety sax of him doing that. It's just some of the bumps were just ridiculously oversold.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. Even when he took the big boot, it looked like it was spin around for a while and then he fell into that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Reigns comes down, does not grab a microphone, thank God.
Yeah, not today. Yeah.
But that's actually a funny short video too on the internet as well, Tyler. Somebody when Reigns was going towards the microphone.
Yeah.
It shows Jim Ross on commentary saying, "No, don't do it, kid. Think of your family. Think of your friends. Yeah. Don't do it. You'll regret this decision."
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, okay. So Reigns, destroys, of course, the Big Show because he has to.
Right.
Like I said, if anything, what I'm hoping is that Big Show maybe sort of dominates, but then Reigns gets in and just throws him out immediately.
Yeah.
Just kind of to shock him there. But by the way, as well, another funny moment as well from Big Show's promo, which I'm so glad Cesaro mentioned on his Twitter feed, was that Big Show brought up about how it's impossible to throw me out of the ring. It never happens. And all of a sudden Cesaro goes impossible, huh? I flew you out at WrestleMania in a Battle Royal this year. Yeah. I actually picked you up and flew you out of the ring.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that maybe Cesaro's going to get eliminated. If he's in the Rumble, he's probably going to get eliminated by Big Show. Because the guy's already in the doghouse. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's already in the doghouse.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the doghouse.
They'll probably have him try to pick him up again, but he won't even have the strength this time, because obviously Cesaro is not as strong as most guys on the roster. That's ridiculous, even though he probably is the most strongest guy on the roster.
Yeah, pound for pound. Yeah, I mean, we've seen him do some pretty, strong things. So.
I actually remember when he first came to the main roster. It was during it was when Cena was taking a photo up for like a bodybuilder workout video, and I'm sorry for a magazine.
Yeah, back when he was.
And one of the guys he invited was Antonio Cesaro, and this was back when he was when he first got started there, and Cesaro was saying yeah, I felt honored in that, but it was also yeah, but you're probably the only guy that can spot Cena when he does squats and that. It's because you're that frequently stronger. You're just as strong as Cena when it comes to certain stuff in that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So. So you had that whole segment.
Yes.
And then I guess another kind of legend-esque segment in the ring, like an NWO reunion.
Yeah.
In the Ascension was out there. Of course, JBL, who's kind of been, some people would say he's been burying the Ascension as of late. Of course, he was, he was calling him out. And
he got really pissed off.
He rips off. He rips off and underneath.
I knew what was coming. You kind of could see this T-shirt underneath, and there was already kind of. Suppose that's why he's been burying him as well, because they were kind of teasing this whole APA deal in that. So immediately I knew what was happening.
And he was up at the ramp. So it's like this looks like he's up there. Maybe he's going to introduce somebody. And
yep.
Sure enough.
But then sure enough the Ascension sure enough still staying their ground because it's, even though it's 5-on-2 now, it's still 2 young guys against 5 old guys.
Yeah.
Then sure enough the Outlaws come out then.
Yeah.
Another great tag team. I mean, like I said, I guess this is the Ascension's gimmick now is that they're going to face legendary tag teams as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't think that takes back from the because obviously they took a lot of flack for insulting the Legion of Doom in a promo there, just because there's no way in hell the Legion of Doom can come to Raw and fight these guys because one of them is dead.
Yeah.
You could have Animal randomly show up there, maybe bring like Heinrich from, that small reform they tried to do back in the day, which failed. But it's like, you really can't have the Legion of Doom come back and come out and kick these guys' asses because one of them is dead.
Yeah.
Guess you could go with try to bring Demolition back. I mean, they look horrendous, to be honest with you, but you know what I mean? I mean, but obviously, the Ascension get their asses kicked. Yeah, people would say this that they got buried because they lost to 7 guys that were way past their prime and that. I'm like, to be fair, their promo's just been burying themselves in that. Their look's been burying them. They look too LOD-ish.
Yeah.
But anyway, apparently this is going to have a match of Royal Mode. It's going to be the New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension. So I have a feeling that they're going to try to do this whole gimmick now with the Ascension actually beats up legendary tag teams maybe. Maybe now, next week, Too Cool will come out maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty much any guy, any tag team that they can think of that maybe is still can go. Maybe they'll try to bring back maybe. Maybe Mark Janae will come back for one night only and the Rockers can be reformed maybe for one night only. Nah, that wouldn't happen because Shawn Michaels would have to come back in the ring. So. Yeah. I don't know. You can't do the Hart Foundation because Bret Hart can't physically take bumps anymore. Like I said, it's the point. I'm trying to find tag teams here that you could have these guys face. Can't do the British Bulldogs. Dave Boy Smith is dead.
Yeah.
And actually, I think even the Dynamite Kid's dead as well. So, once again, I'm trying to find teams here. Money Inc. I mean, IRS could probably still go in the ring. I don't think Ted DiBiase should be in the ring either.
Yeah.
Once again, this is their new gimmick now where they're going to be at legendary tag teams there. Good luck trying to find legendary tag teams. They're either dead or they can't. One of them can't physically go in the ring anymore. Yeah. So whatever. But anyway, it's the Outlaws and the Ascension there, and I do expect Ascension to win there. Yeah. There's no purpose in having the Outlaws win unless the purpose is we're going to bury these guys now because we think these guys are not good. They're not ready. And so on.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed during this segment too with Kevin Nash, you kind of had another slip up here in the promo. Well, a plug for the WWE Network, of course.
Yeah.
But when Kevin Nash said it, he said, you can get the Royal Rumble or whatever on the. It sounded like he said like WD Network or something. like he was about to say like he was mixing up like WD-40 or something like that.
How much?
Like Hank Hill, maybe it was
You got a problem with.
See, here's the thing with Nash here is that he kind of had for a while. He's always had this laid back, like I don't give a crap approach when it comes to stuff. But it's like you also this is also a guy that I think, for all we knew, might have been drinking backstage.
Yeah, I mean
in the backstage area, it might have been a little swervy coming out.
Yeah, I don't know. but-
Obviously, Scott Hall is clean, and supposedly so is X-Pac in that. But Nash, who knows?
Yeah.
By the way, it doesn't have Nash back after that whole domestic violence incident with his son.
Yeah,
Took place.
that was just recent. That was what
apparently,
before-
apparently, what happened was charges got dropped from him.
Yeah.
Well, the story supposedly is that Nash only got arrested because he refused to cooperate with the police department
Yeah,
when they showed
so-
up. Supposedly, what happened was I believe his mom, I believe his son was verbally assaulting his mom, and Nash eventually had to step in, and of course a scuffle happened then.
Right.
So of course the police got called. I believe it was led by the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Stuff happened. The son got arrested. Nash only got arrested because he was not going to cooperate. Because he refused to cooperate with the police department, which is what you should always do when they show up.
Disorderly conduct.
But anyway, charges got dropped for him. So obviously there was no problem anymore with the company. I guess. Not to mention he is still Troy boy in that. So.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but anyway, so Nash is there. Whatever. The segment just had nothing but nostalgia all over it. Pretty much.
It was
It was nothing but nostalgia.
and a network plug. Even though you kind of said WD network, like I said again.
Speaking of the network plug, apparently WWE's stock recently got to a 52-week low. I think it's like $9.80. It's $9.87 now for WWE stock. And there were people on Twitter joking about how, so WWE stock is actually worth less than the network that they're charging you right now.
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, so.
Not by much, and you know, if it has a nice rally, it's going to get over that number again. But that is kind of hilarious. But no, I don't know. For me, the segment was just nostalgia.
Right. Yeah. Like kind of like the Legends panel a little bit to bring, I guess in some ways, but yeah, of course too you had Brock Lesnar backstage again. I guess getting back to Brock, somewhere in the middle of the show, face to face, with Seth Rollins. So now I'm gonna wait until Royal Rumble to get my hands on you or whatever.
Yes.
And, you better you better take out Cena in this later on tonight in that what would be a 3-on-1 handicap match, and so yeah, again, I mean, good stuff out of Brock Lesnar backstage, in little bits. Definitely, you get some good stuff out of Brock Lesnar. So
I mean, first of all, I mean, like I said, the thing of Brock is that he says that look there of like, oh shit, I don't want to mess with this guy.
Right. Yeah.
and the fact that he actually fought. Actually, like real fighting, and actually as well, definitely already, gives you that whole idea of, you don't mess with this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you had that, and other than that, throughout the show, I'm trying to think if we missed anything else.
Well, the New Day beats the new team of Cesaro and Kid, which I'm feeling bad for Cesaro and Kid in that.
Yeah, because now they're losing to the New Day. I mean, which
once again, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
For crying out loud,
so he's losing to guys that aren't going anywhere.
Now they're trying to get a reaction out. Now they're just trying to yell New Day at the crowd. They're trying to get a reaction.
Right.
Because if you hear crickets, then all of a sudden they get a New Day chant going. Granted, because wrestling fans just have this knack for responding when people like say something to them and that.
Yeah.
But it's like these guys just aren't over. In fact, I think there were moments when they took on Cesaro and Kid where Cesaro and Kid would especially that one where Cesaro does a spin. He does a giant swing, and Kid just does a drop kick into the guy's skull, and that got a cheer.
Yeah,
the heel tag team is getting cheers over the quote unquote babyface tag team. Yeah. And like I said, the whole Rosebuds then, and I don't even know what the hell Adam Rose is anymore. Then. If he doesn't even have his dancing posse anymore, what's the point of him doing the gimmick anymore?
Right.
Anyway, this is your pre-show. It's supposed to be a 6-man elimination match between the New Day, Adam Rose, Tyson Kidd, and Cesaro. So there's your pre-show match for the Rumble.
Yeah. Now, so I mean, other than that, I mean, that basically led to the main event. John Cena, 3-on-1 handicap match. I mean, figured it'd have some kind of shenanigans because obviously, Cena's gonna. They weren't going to have Cena not be in the triple threat match.
Yes.
The pay-per-view. So, but then again, you had to figure out, how is he going to beat, all three of these guys or whatever. So, of course, Sting appearing on the
exactly, Tyler.
Titantron.
You have Sting show up.
Right.
make his Raw debut finally because he just made it's a Survivor Series and that. So first, he kind of just like stares into the camera for a long.
Yeah.
In fact, even you can have like J-Bo saying, "That's not him. That's a picture of him."
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the kind of was like Goldberg-esque from back in
yeah.
the day. He's just walking
You
to
see
the
some
ring.
movement, yeah.
They just like staring down, and apparently, 53. I don't know. I forget how old he is. He's like I think he's in his 50s.
So yeah, he's got
He can still take bumps
Yeah.
though. So, but no, all of a sudden that makes 40-something-year-old Kane and 40-something-year-old Big Show apparently distracted him enough to walk out of the ring.
Yeah.
And prevent Sting from interfering in his match here.
Yeah.
Along with Triple H as well. And apparently Rollins is also distracted, even though he has two guys
Right.
having his back and everything.
Yeah.
See, for me, this has been the moment maybe you have like Ziggler just jump out of the arena.
Yeah.
Like he's in civilian clothing and that. Maybe he has like a hoodie on. And just zigzag the hell out of Rollins. Almost kind of like Survivor Series, that he kind of screws Rollins this time.
Yeah.
And have like Cena cover then.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like I said, because then that would at least made it like, okay, well, Rollins should have been looking around the whole arena before he decided to just look at the entrance ramp. But whatever, Cena wins. So of course, Cena's reaction though afterwards is kind of hilarious. He's like going into the arena.
Yeah, I mean, he's like smiling all heavy, and like he couldn't believe what he just did.
Yeah. It's like he's saying I did it to like a little kid. Like God, finally.
Yeah, I mean, he had that like same facial reaction when he won that Money in the Bank.
It's like, oh God,
years ago.
Yeah.
It's just like I mean,
so anyway, Sting kind of like stares him down, and then he just walks to the back. Then
yeah,
and of course Triple H flips out. Then
So Cena's.
But anyway,
out of the picture.
during the match, this photo came on Twitter. Apparently, during the match, which of course pretty much was Cena getting his ass kicked for a bulk of the time.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was a kid at ringside who started crying. Apparently, Triple H scared him.
Really?
So Triple H, of course, as a heel, would ignore that and anything, encourage it.
Yeah.
And except he, what does he do? He hugs the kid. And is talking to him, saying, it's okay. I'm not really a bad guy, supposedly. That's what Onlook was said there. It's like he broke character in the middle of a show.
Second, yeah.
Just because a 10-year-old kid was crying supposedly at ringside.
Yeah. Now again, you mentioned that you couldn't really. This wasn't in the camera shot at the time, or
no, but there is a picture online of this happening here though during the match.
Yeah.
But it's like. It goes back to when Jericho did that heel turn in the beginning.
Yeah.
He did everything he could to be a bad guy. He would not have merchandise so at a stand. Yeah. If fans come and ask for an autograph, he would just blow them off. His goal was to be hated.
Right, yeah.
And make kids cry.
Really play it
That
out.
was his goal. He wanted to be a true bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, not just
in the ring, outside the ring.
Not just when things were rolling.
This is Triple H during a show.
Right, yeah.
Not in the ring, but alongside the ring here. And because a kid is upset that John Cena is getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Yet the kid, I can't believe that even a kid probably who's been a Cena fan for how many years still does not know that Cena always overcomes the odds for crying out loud. Doesn't matter how it happens, it happens somehow.
Yeah.
But the kid always says crying, oh, you're mean. Yeah. And then Triple H, counseling the kid. I mean, look, it's like the kid was having a stroke or anything, or
Yeah.
R-E-L-A-X.
So I guess Triple H doing a little of that.
Yeah. But it's like, oh my God. Yeah. I saw that photo and immediately I'm like, dude, you're doing your job for crying out loud. You're a higher upper in a pro wrestling company here, and you're constantly you're counseling a little kid who apparently has not been told that this shit is fake or scripted, I should say.
It's really unfair.
Yeah, so.
But it's like, oh my! I saw this photo and I couldn't believe it.
You have to check it out.
I couldn't believe it.
I'm sure people who had their iPhones out. I'm pretty sure there might be footage of that somewhere.
Well, but that's what I mean. It was taking some guy's camera. Now.
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal. I mean,
I mean, what you didn't see on Raw or whatever, watching at home.
I mean, the break character. I mean, granted, it wasn't again. Luckily, it wasn't caught on a television camera.
Yeah,
thank God it wasn't.
Then it would have been one of those things where it's like, all right, cut to this camera over here or whatever. One of those quick things in the production unit.
Almost anybody in the front row is probably going, "What the hell am I watching right now?" Like how committed you guys are to playing a character in that?
Yeah.
I'll be curious if Triple H's gonna be asked this question like in an event somewhere, and he's gonna respond to it so what the hell happened to me? The kid was upset, and what the hell did you say to try to calm the kid down in that? And what
is going on back there?
It was the kid's reaction,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I see this happening too, and I don't know. I see two. I see a guy and looks like a woman. Right? I think that's his mom and dad.
Probably,
that. They're kind of sitting there, and I don't even think they know what their reaction is to this here. It's some big strong guy's hugging her son right now. It's don't know what to do in this scenario.
Yeah.
So once again, I don't know. I saw that. I'm but again, I'm I don't know. The only argument I could think of is that maybe the kid that wasn't his seat. Maybe he lost his parents. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Maybe he wandered. Maybe the kids, parents lost track of him now. In his big arena there. So maybe he was going. His instinct was to go front and center, and he said, "I need to find my mommy and daddy." And that if that's the story, by all means, that Triple H was doing the right thing, maybe. But if it's because the kid was upset because John Cena was getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And Triple H's logic is, I better calm this kid down here. He might be scarred for life for that. It's
yeah.
It's I'll just break kayfabe because it's not like even as a heel, I never did anything dickish to make other people cry either.
Yeah.
Knocking people heads with sledgehammers all the time.
Yeah.
But no, the photo's right there. Supposedly that's what happened. Though I mean, like I said, if the story's different, if it's like I said, that's only I can think of.
I could see it maybe somebody saying it was because John Cena was getting beat up or whatever. Maybe that old side of Cena's 10-year-old fans and everything, and little kids, and I could see that maybe a hate. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, obviously being a live event, I know how some of these kids obviously have not been told by their parents yet that this stuff is. I mean, look. Look. The question has always been, when do you tell? It's it's almost when do you tell your kids Santa Claus is not real?
Yeah.
It's how long do you want to live the magic for these guys here until it breaks them in that?
Yeah, when do you tell them about the birds and the bees? And,
Hey, woman. Hey, woman.
Stuff
no,
like
but
that.
no, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, the live event. That one kid though kept saying "What's up?" screaming there, and I almost felt yelling back and saying, "Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
I'm trying to watch the match." Because it got annoying after a while. It's hilarious. The kids just would not shut up, and it's oh my god, I just want to watch the match.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you know what I mean? But then there were guys who knew almost the same match predictions as we did in the back as well. So.
Yeah. So.
There you go.
But yeah. So, anyways, I guess getting back to the main event segment there. After so Cena leaves the ring. After that exaggerated, I guess, reaction, after winning that match. And then, of course, out comes Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Once again. Again, like we mentioned earlier, the show started off with a bang because you had Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar refusing to allow Paul Heyman to start the show off. And, so Lesnar puts it bluntly earlier. Lesnar's backstage, and Lesnar comes back out.
Yes.
And we kind of mentioned earlier how he was, I guess Lesnar was like a baby face in a sense.
Yes.
At least on tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, because, you didn't really have anything between Lesnar and Cena. It was kind of tonight just about, at least from Lesnar's perspective, about Seth Rollins and, I guess some heat that's kind of between those two guys. So Brock Lesnar comes out and, he's 3-on-1 here, I guess it was, between Big Show and Kane and Seth Rollins and I guess Lesnar kind of goes, beast mode here, I guess you could call it, and beats.
Well, yeah, because he had 3 guys in the ring that were waiting there, and all of a sudden, and I think they were even people in the audience shocked that they actually just said Brock just destroyed two guys. Great, it was Kane and Big Show. Thank God.
But I mean, like
You know,
the way, and then like the way, like he picks up Big Show with like one, with just his right shoulder and arm, and just right up for the F5, and
but that's the thing too, man. It's like Kane and Big Show, like two big guys here, and just with ease, he just picks them both up,
with just that
and
one
back to back,
one shoulder, and then he gets, the hit, F5's Big Show, with ease, and. So
like I said, and the standing ovation too. I mean, like I said, the show did not end with Cena. It ended with Brock, and it wasn't two boos; it was two cheers.
Cena had
because Brock Lesnar just. I mean, like I said, if he actually I brought this argument here too. If Brock drops the belt, and they need a feud for him in Mania, and I thought Bryan could be an example. You could turn Brock easily babyface, have a feud with Rollins.
Right now, he feels like a tweener after this past week.
Because Brock has yet to get payback on Seth for stabbing him in the back yet. I'm thinking, I mean, Randy Orton would make sense as well. But then again, it's like, they actually already had a match though before, Orton turned face of that. And I'm like, so if you need a match built in for Brock, you could easily turn him babyface. I think you can have a feud with Rollins.
Yeah.
I was thinking at the end of the day, if Brock's leaving, Brock's losing.
Right, yeah.
Rollins is still, as he said, he is the future of the company here. I mean, he is one of the futures of this company here. I mean, there's many other names to that list yet that you can add the future of company, but he is one of the names that are the future of the company here. But it's like, if you need a feud for Brock, if you don't want him to hit in the main event, he drops the belt. I don't know. I'm assuming to John Cena. I'm assuming he's dropping the belt in that. I still think there's a possibility of Seth cashes in after the match immediately and wins the match that way. But it's like, you need a feud for Brock to do.
Right.
I think you could easily do now a Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins feud. Because fans, they want to see Brock and his hands on Rollins and just destroy the guy.
Yeah.
Because, because like Seth can bump the best of anybody else can bump in the locker room. The bumps he could sell for Brock, the other talent can sell, would make it, I think, an entertaining match. I think.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I kind of had the same vibe after this show. Like, I mean, Brock Lesnar, he didn't focus on Cena at all. I mean, again, Cena, he had his ride off into the sunset, and then Lesnar came out and did his thing.
Paul Heyman came across kind of as semi-babyface, too, at some moments as well.
Maybe part of that because he didn't talk as much either.
Yeah.
But
even towards the ending here, I mean, beginning, he's trying to calm Brock down. Now it was kind of like, you guys are so screwed now. Brock's getting unleashed now on you guys here. It's like, But no, I actually love the ending with Brock.
Yeah,
Brock. Like I said, Sting's back now. I figured it was gonna happen eventually. It has to. Mania is almost here. But I mean, like I said, it wasn't a great show, but it was. I've seen worse.
Right.
Them do worse. And like I said, the product should start really picking up now with Mania coming around because now you got to start having these big matches now.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, like, so I'm trying to figure out. Actually, I just thought about that too. I'm like, well, who would Randy Orton face in that? And I'm thinking, well, I still believe this guy's performing because of filming James Bond right now. But Dave Bautista could easily come back as a heel and feud with Orton.
Yeah, I actually read a report last week that Dave is not very keen right now at coming back.
But once again, why should he?
I mean,
his return last year was kind of a fail.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of some of that. And he enjoys like the movies, business right now.
Look, he's getting offers.
I mean,
we're talking big offers here.
I mean, I don't blame him.
It's not like he's John Cena there and he's like, it's just WWE studio films and that. No, it's actual studios.
Yeah,
here.
the next James Bond movie,
Yeah, he's playing one of the villains.
I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
I actually hope his character's not dying to James Bond this James Bond film because I'm hoping that they kind of do make him kind of like Jaws.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
we'll show him in multiple Bond films and that. Hopefully, do not go the route of Jaws, which did Moonraker make him a good guy in the end because that was a stupid idea to do.
Yeah,
stupid love story and all that stuff as well. It's like, really? That's why Moonraker's like one of the worst Bond films ever made.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't make a bad guy into a good guy. You don't do it in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, you don't do it. Heel turns for WWE, right?
Yeah.
So not for James Bond films, but.
Well, in Jaws' case, he went from a heel to a babyface.
Yeah.
He went from a heel to a tweener to a babyface.
Yeah, that's what I mean. A face turn. That's I guess that's what I mean. No, heel turn. I'm thinking of something, a different one. I guess.
Like I said, Dave's not going to be performing. The Rock's not either this year
Right.
again. Grant, once
Which
again,
is fine. I mean,
that's fine. He had 2 main
he has
events.
and he can have his surprise returns whenever he wants, pretty much like the one with Rusev a few months ago.
You know, I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, I think the last time he wrestled, he got hurt. And I think that actually delayed the production of one
The
of his
abdomen,
movies.
yeah.
And actually, I think delayed the production of one of his movies.
Yeah.
And obviously, delaying stuff
Right.
hurts a movie's budget right off the back
Yeah.
because you already got the set there, you got your people there,
Right.
but all of a sudden your actor is hurt. You got to like all of a sudden say, well, we need 4 more extra weeks now on this location
Yeah.
here, and you know that's not free. You got to
Right.
pay for that extra 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, and you know, so I think like he pretty much said, look, I want to still do acting, and obviously, I
Yeah.
think wrestling matches hurts my ability to act still.
Yeah. So
Man's got to know his
Yeah.
And look, he did his
limitations.
job. He put over the company guy.
right.
You know, after being the company guy.
Yeah.
So you know, I mean, so it happened. You know, we had a dream match, then he rematched to a dream match.
Yeah.
They split, so there is no rubber match plan.
Yeah.
There is no winner in this feud here. It's a
Yeah.
tie in the end.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you could say Cena won. That's how they're gonna hype it up. Cena won at the end. He won because he
Yeah.
won the belt in, and he won. So he won. He had a double victory over the Rock
Yeah.
technically in that. But it's like no, it's a
Even
tie.
though even though we all saw it coming.
But like I said, I'm just trying to figure out feuds here. I'm like, Brock, you could easily turn him babyface now and have a feud with Rollins at Mania.
yeah. On his way out too. I mean,
Yeah.
that would make sense. And then
And actually, to be fair, you want Paul Heyman to stick around. You could easily have him turn
You
on
could-
Brock and cost him the match.
that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're.
Because at the end of the day, Paul Heyman's a heel.
I was thinking the same
He's
thing.
a heel.
Yeah.
He can play a babyface. If you
Yeah.
know, he can. I know he can. But he did it.
Yeah.
He's such a great bad guy.
Right, yeah. I mean, again, after Raw, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I could see that at WrestleMania, like Brock and Rollins. Brock's like now a full-fledged well, not a full-fledged, but a Brock Lesnar babyface.
Yeah.
Not a full.
Because
not
Brock
a,
Lesnar's babyface would
that
not.
kind of babyface. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's babyface is not John Cena babyface. That
Like he was, yeah.
He will viciously attack you
Yeah.
and beat you up. But that's the thing too. I kind of liked about Brock coming out in the beginning of the show. It's like
Yeah.
it wasn't John Cena the
right.
week before. Coming out smiling
It
and
was
laughing.
somebody new. Yeah, it
and
was somebody new, and
saying he's gonna have a good
yeah,
time.
there was somebody coming out and saying,
Brock looked pissed.
yeah,
He was angry.
legitimately, yeah.
He wants this guy
Yeah.
who attacked him. He wants to
Yeah.
kill. He wants to eviscerate this guy in that.
Yeah,
Wants to leave him in a puddle of his own blood and vomit and urine.
yeah, like
you know.
like he said before, and
It's not rocket
Yeah.
science.
So I mean that's the one thing I like about Brock came out because it's like this is how John Cena
Right.
should have came out last week.
yeah,
After your quote unquote 3 best buddies got fired,
yeah,
why are you smiling? You should be pissed
Right.
off as
yeah,
you should not be saluting the fans. You should just run your ass down the ring.
yeah,
You should grab the microphone and just immediately like start calling out the
Yeah.
authority. Then saying
Yeah.
I want you guys to come out here there because I could. It's like, but apparently, babyfaces now have lost their balls. Apparently,
yeah,
what's like even going back to that end segment 2 weeks ago.
with the confetti and all.
John Cena just stood there and
Like,
took
what's
it
going on? Yeah,
because apparently in this company now, babyfaces do not have a set of balls at all.
right, yeah,
And especially the 3 guys that got fired, it's like none of these guys decided to attack Triple H or Stephanie.
yeah. They just kind of stood there and
It's
yeah,
like, you guys are fired now. You guys have no legal power. They're not your employers anymore.
I just think somebody owes
You
us
guys
an
can
explanation.
maybe
That's
go out still on a high note, maybe.
yeah,
But nope. The guy just sit there and take it.
yeah,
But it's like here's Brock just going. I don't give a crap.
yeah.
It's kind of refreshing.
I want to beat your weasel ass. And
See, this is how Roman Reigns should be as a
Right,
babyface.
yeah.
Is kind of more like a Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk much. He doesn't do
Right.
beanstalk
Couple
promos.
simple-
He just comes down,
yeah.
he destroys somebody, and he leaves.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I
like Bill.
guess the-
He arrives, he destroys somebody, and
Yeah.
he leaves. That's all he does. That should be his
Yeah.
gimmick.
yeah.
He should not be the next John Cena and go, Jack
yeah,
and the Beanstalk.
take notes, Vince McMahon. Yeah, if Vince McMahon's the guy, the man behind the machine here with the Jack and the Beanstalk.
By all means, do not turn Roman Reigns into John Cena. You
Yeah.
should keep him as far away from John Cena-ish as possible.
Yeah,
Or the kid has no shot whatsoever.
yeah. I mean that was again. I mean, pretty simple stuff there, and again, like stuff that maybe we wish Cena would do more often.
Yeah.
I get,
But
I
you
never
know,
thought I'd say it, but Cena, take notes here from a Brock Lesnar promo. not. I kind of mean that half sarcastically because I mean, it was pretty straightforward and easy for Brock Lesnar to say and natural, I guess. But
I mean,
anyways.
and like I said, when the 205 threat match starts this Sunday, Brock, I can guarantee you this: when he gets his hands on Rollins, it won't be in a headlock. It's gonna be takedowns. It's gonna be fisticuffs.
It's yeah.
Because remember Randy Orton attacked John Cena's father last year, and he was so pissed off.
Yeah.
He had his hand. What does he do in the beginning of the match? Headlock.
Yes.
Headlock, and then they just start the match slow, and it's like, no, it should be single leg takedown and start fisticuffing the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Have the referee get on top of him and try to separate him there, and hype up the fact that maybe Cena might risk getting disqualified his match because he's emotionally scarred, scarred out because his own father got attacked on television.
That would make it more compelling, for a change. I mean,
compelling storytelling, Tyler. It's not about that. It's about gimmicks.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
it's about gimmicks
that's the problem.
and jokes and nostalgia, and fairy tales, and that's what it's about, Tyler.
Yeah. Five knuckle shuffles.
It's almost like the Seahawks promos at the end of the games of the Packers. There, Wilson's crying and talking about emotion and pride.
Right, yeah.
It's like, what? How do you cut promos? Emotion and pride, determination. No, it should be about beanstalks and fairy tales.
Yeah.
And jokes and all that. That's real promos right there. It's not about pride, emotion, and determination.
Yeah.
What's that bullshit coming out of their mouth?
Yeah. Yeah, and you bring that up too with the beat, and it stinks too because we've seen at least Roman Reigns do some not extensive promo, but some good short and sweet promos where he didn't go off on Jack and the Beanstalk tangents or Roman and the Beanstalk, as I said.
Yes, exactly.
Week,
and the gold coins and the golden goose.
Right, yeah. But anyways, we've seen Roman Reigns do good, good stuff before. That wasn't cheesy and
the reason why Reigns came off better than this was because he didn't say anything.
Right, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I guess, the best thing for Reigns to say is nothing.
Less is sometimes more.
Yeah, especially if
less is more, Tyler. Yeah. Less is more.
Yeah, again, especially if last week, you're coming off that Jack and the Beanstalk thing, deal. So
yeah. So let's go on
move
our
on
predictions.
Yeah, with the card, which is
5. Wait, 5, 6 pre-show right now.
2 that I feel really matter at all. But
it's the Bumble.
But yeah, that's
what do you expect?
But anyways, yeah, you mentioned the pre-show earlier.
Yes.
Which was again, I don't,
It was the New Day versus
the New Day. Yeah.
Cesaro. All 3 members, it gets
hard time investing in it. But.
Cesaro, Kid, and Adam Rose. It's supposed to be an elimination 6-man match. Gonna go with the New Day.
Yeah.
As much as I want to see Cesaro and Kid win a match now.
Yeah.
Because I think this tag team actually has a shot at being a tag team.
Yeah.
Whereas the New Day, I think this gimmick is dead in the water.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Kofi. I like Big E and Xavier Woods. I loved them as consequences queen in TNA. I loved them in that gimmick, but the New Day just is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not a new day for these guys' careers. Well, it might be. They might have a career change because I doubt these guys can go back to their old gimmicks after this. But no, so I'm going to go with the New Day winning because obviously this company still wants to push these guys as a legitimate friend somehow.
Yeah, they at least have some kind of...
I mean, there was that moment there when they talk about how they're singing and dancing and how we're unhappy we'll unleash the rage. And I'm like, please unleash the rage. Yeah. Don't hide the rage. Unleash it. Randomly show up and beat up guys.
Yeah.
Be an actual stable for crying out loud. Don't sing and dance.
Yeah.
Show up and beat up guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, New Day over Kid, Cesaro, and Rose.
Yeah, that team that was thrown together.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, and then I guess after, I mean,
well, okay, Outlaws Ascension.
Whatever the order will be.
Outlaws gets the Ascension.
Obviously the Ascension. Yeah, we kind of hinted.
They are the young guys. They got to try to get over here, and obviously, like I said, their gimmick now might just be being up old tag teams.
Right.
Once again, good luck trying to find those.
Yeah, there's only so many.
There's only so many you can go for.
Yeah.
But no, go with the Ascension there as well. Tag team Divas match actually. There's no championship Divas match actually, like we thought originally. But it's Natalya Paige gets the Bella Twins. Speaking of a feud that just kind of just ended.
Yeah, that kind of silently.
Brie and Nikki now are back together.
Going back to the summer, it used to be it was a big deal at a time.
Well, it was Brie versus Stephanie originally.
Yeah, at SummerSlam,
Like I said, once it was Nikki turned heel, I knew.
It just
I knew the feud
yeah.
was not going to go anywhere. But good God, there's no finish here.
Yeah.
It's just Bree. They're just heels now. Bree's just decided to team with her sister again.
Yeah.
It's like I've given the moment there where it's like, oh, she's just playing now. She's gonna stab her sister in the back like she did. But it's like, nope, not buying it anymore.
Yeah.
These guys are back together again. So, Paige and Ty have been getting the best of them recently. I'm gonna go with the Bella twins winning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not only that. I mean, I guess, one of them is Divas champion too. So
yeah,
I guess since they're not gonna have a Divas champion, I guess maybe keep them strong. I guess I don't know. Not that I'm too invested in this match at all.
No, like I said, this is probably bad from break match here.
Yeah.
Speaking of other tag team match, the Title Chasers line Miz and Mizdow against the Usos. I'm gonna go with the Usos.
Yeah, who are now once again tag team champions.
Yes. This is the Miz and Mizdow's rematch clause.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, I mean, at some point they'll split Mizdow and
it's actually 3 tag team matches on his main card here. I just realized 3 actual tag team matches.
Yeah, so
this card actually does feel like an '80s Rumble setup or '90s Rumble because that's almost all you had back in the day were a Rumble match, Chase match, and tag team matches.
Yeah,
that had no point except for maybe the belt might be on the line on one of them. But okay.
So yeah.
Triple threat.
So
here it is: Brock, Cena, and Rollins.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe that might not close. Maybe the actual Rumble match. Does that normally close the show?
Rumble match usually closes. It hasn't always happened. There's been times, but I mean, like I said, the most ridiculous one was when it was in the middle of the card in 2006. That was when Mysterio won. It was in the middle of the card because then they had Edge and John Cena after that. Then the pay-per-view closed with Kurt Angle and Mark Henry, which just made so many people joke for joy that Mark Henry was closing a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they had to close there because that's when Taker came back and destroyed the ring. So, of course, you can't have the wrong match follow that because the ring's been destroyed. You kind of need the ring to be intact to throw guys over in that. But and like I said, there was also the Rock and Punk went on it after the Rumble match as well. But no, usually the Rumble match has always been the closer. And I don't see why you don't make it the closer here as well.
Yeah.
So.
Especially if a new guy like i.e.
the quote unquote next John Cena,
not like
the next big guy,
not like last year when Batista won it or something. This is a new the next big thing or next big guy or whatever in the company. So yeah.
So I'm gonna
triple threat match first.
Triple threat, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cena here.
Yeah.
And I'm not no cash in yet. My assumption is that maybe they go with this whole Lesnar and Rollins thing here, and and maybe to WrestleMania, and down the road I could see Rollins holding on to the case and not cashing it in.
Well, he has till June, I believe. I believe it's a full year, and so he has till.
I think he'll cash, and I could see. I don't know. Maybe Paul Heyman does turn on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and that kind of, helps Seth Rollins.
I actually think what you can do here is that Cena wins.
It's different ways you could go.
I think Cena wins. I think Rollins cashes in afterwards, and Rollins wins. But then, of course, since Cena won, he gets a rematch clause. Yeah. Like, great, technically so does Brock.
And then,
but Brock's
probably not another triple threat.
I don't think Brock's wrestling at Fastlane, which is his thing too. It's not like after Rumble is Mania, you got this pay-per-view in February. And they got to have a match on that card. Now, the advertised match is supposed to be Roman Reigns and John Cena versus Big Show and Rollins. Good God, I hope that's subject to change in that because that's a horrible main event for a pay-per-view. But I think you can have Rollins be a transition champion to start out by having him lose at Fastlane to Cena. Great, that would make Cena a 17-time champion because he beat Ric Flair's record in the span of 2 months in that pretty much. But, I already said it's going to happen. He's going to beat the record. And he can try to keep the belt as far away from him as they can. As far as they can. But it's not going to happen. I think Cena's going to win. Rollins cashes in then. And then I think at Fastlane, I think Rollins drops the belt to
Yeah.
Cena, saying once again, Cena reigns.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe at Fastlane, maybe you have Brock maybe
Yeah.
interfere and screw Rollins out. Maybe.
yeah, I could see something like that if that's the route they do go. The thing is, like, I wouldn't mind if Rollins like did cash in or or whatever
Mhm.
after that.
I mean, they are playing it up, but
but,
that's a possibility. It's
But like it would be, I think it would be a cool story down the road if, say, like, well, I guess
I mean,
'cause
honestly, they can WrestleMania this year. Reigns wins,
that like I know,
and all of a sudden,
I know
immediately,
this-
and then they have the confetti come down. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, immediately afterwards, Rollins theme plays and he's cashing
Yeah.
in.
that's
And
what
all
I'm
of a sudden,
that could
Rollins,
be
Rollins
very-
steals
yeah.
the thunder, and Mania ends in a shocking
Yeah.
moment where
Yeah, like-
Rollins.
the former Shield member, or former Shield members, the architect and cashing it. I mean, something like that could be very interesting, certainly.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, there's different ways they can go here with it. And,
Yes.
so at least there's an unpredictability kind of element to this. Although there was something interesting. I don't know if you heard about this.
Mhm.
But there was an advertisement for I guess a WWE live show. This is like something I heard from that was like Aaron Riff, NoDQ&A.com or whatever. That for like a house show, like maybe it was a typo or maybe it was
Yeah.
something done by accident. But like for like a house show in March somewhere, like
It was
Cena
Allentown.
was.
It was Allentown.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I saw the
Cena-
ad. Yeah.
Okay, so was that and Cena was advertised as the WWE champion for the
Yes, but if you also read the full thing,
Yeah.
it also still says that he's only a 15-time world champion. Obviously, if
Yeah.
he was built as the current champion, he'd be
Right.
a 16-time champion.
Yeah.
So, like I
Maybe
said,
some confusion
it might be
there.
a typo, maybe.
Yeah, but it certainly, I guess it raises some questions.
Yeah, but
anyways,
like I said, not that it would shock me that by March Cena is the champion again in that, but
right, because fast lane by your,
but then it's
what you
over,
said.
and all you left is Mania. In fact,
Yeah.
March is Mania month. It actually comes out in March this year instead of April.
late March. Yeah,
So excuse me. So yeah. So
we both. All right, well, we go with Cena, but you have Rollins
Rollins
cashing
winning.
in.
But at the end of the day, it's still going to be Cena versus Reigns. Because once again, if they go first of all, if they go Rollins Reigns as your main event, that actually is a very ballsy move to make because
Yeah.
they're two young guys. They're your future, but they're not really. Are they going to really like sell a lot of buys and
Right.
subscribe numbers? Probably.
Yeah,
Probably not.
yeah, not yet.
I think Cena's still like, and not to mention, risky right now. This company does not take risky moves.
Yeah,
On occasions they have this year, but they're still very conservative. It's not great business right now for them. So once again, which is why I said even if Reigns somehow wins the belt and wins the match and is quote unquote the next big thing in that, it's still going to be John Cena as the focal point of the programming on
Yeah.
television because that's the conservative thing. That's the safe thing to do. Cena's your top guy. He's established.
yeah,
He's instead of building up these new guys that might fail on you, we're not going to take
Yeah.
risks. We're going to play it safe.
right.
So a company that typically has been playing safe, I don't see why you don't do a main event and John Cena is not in the card somehow. So anyway, Rumble time. Tell you what, let's do who we want to win, but who will probably will win.
Yeah, and that's all right. That's
So
a good-
should win, but will win.
All right.
Kind of like what some guys did doing it when they're guessing
It's
who's
hard
winning the
for me
Academy
to-
Awards
yeah.
this year. Who should win, who will win in that,
All right. Well, all right. Provided that they're gonna maybe give Reigns better material.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Reigns again. Like the Jack and the Beanstalk stuff
Yeah.
has to stop.
Yes.
So, but provided that maybe I'm fine with Roman Reigns winning, I guess, and
Okay.
but I wouldn't like. Obviously, I guess I predict that he'll win too. I kind of hinted at that already.
Yes.
Most likely. But I mean, I wouldn't like with the momentum that say like Bray Wyatt has. I wouldn't mind seeing him win out of the blue. That'd be a shocker.
It would be, as Michael said, it's a
But,
shocking pick.
Yeah, I mean, he's been winning a lot lately.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind
but
Ambrose,
that's
yeah.
supposed to be set up for a match of Taker though.
probably that's the only feed him to Taker and who's
Way
his
past
career.
his prime.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
Although, would it be more shocking if Taker lost 2 straight Mania matches then?
yeah, I mean that's
Like he
always
actually
true.
was,
Like,
he actually was like starting a losing streak then in
Yeah.
Mania. I mean, that would really be
Yeah.
shocking for me if he lost twice in Mania
Yeah.
in back-to-back years.
yeah,
That would just shock
That
the
would
hell
be-
out of me.
yeah,
Because, like, okay, did not see that coming.
yeah,
You know, the guy that held this massive winning streak for so
Yeah.
long, all of a sudden has a losing streak.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, then maybe you start willing to hyping up the whole idea of Taker. This might be his last run.
yeah.
Then,
He really, yeah. I mean,
you know,
He can
'cause
really be
maybe
the-
maybe
Yeah.
he just has this mentality now. I don't think I have
Yeah.
it in me anymore
He
to win a
can-
match anymore.
yeah. I mean, he really like can be the dead man. As far as his career goes.
Yeah.
But
Although I actually, if he does wrestle this year, I don't think it's his last one. I think the Mania next year might be his last
maybe,
one,
yeah,
based on
We'll
the
see.
location they just announced on the network recently.
Yeah.
Actually, today they announced
yeah,
it. We'll get that towards the end, but
yeah,
I've been adamant for maybe the past month that Reigns
yeah,
is just not ready in my mind.
yeah. And he may not.
I
Be.
think the company would, if they gave him the main
It
event,
could be risky. Yeah,
would be just as stupid as giving Dave Bautista the Rumble win last year.
yeah.
They'll do it.
Which was
They'll
yeah,
they'll do it. Even if Philadelphia is 100% anti-Reigns that night,
Yeah.
they'll do it. And I think unlike Batista, they won't cave in the fan pressure and
Yeah.
this time. I think they'll actually stick with their guns and actually push him to the main event. And I think the kid's not ready. I think this kid
Yeah.
could benefit from at least waiting till SummerSlam. At the very least, wait till next year.
that's true. Yeah,
Give
I mean,
him the push.
yeah. I mean, it's
I mean,
definitely
in my mind, the guy has not even worked a full year as a singles competitor yet.
yeah.
She only split what in was it June, May,
yeah,
June? Okay,
early June.
Yeah, early June. He's been out. He was out what for 4 months,
Yeah,
3 months,
three, yeah,
4 months with,
yeah.
with an injury. So he hasn't even worked a full year as a singles competitor
Yeah,
yet.
it's risky.
So I mean, has he really proven himself that he can handle a full length match? Can he really?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, if his first feuds against Rollins will make him look like a freaking star because Rollins is that good.
Right.
But at the end of the day, though, he's gonna have to wrestle other guys.
Yeah.
You can't keep him. You can't keep him
Yeah.
boxed up. For much long. He's gonna have to wrestle 15, maybe even half-hour matches sometimes.
Yeah.
He has to go long matches on occasion. So, who should win? I think is Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Yeah.
I think there's actually a storyline that you
and-
can tell.
Yeah, and like say he wasn't, for whatever reason he wasn't in the Royal Rumble last year to,
He also never lost the title.
that's true. Yeah.
His storytelling line could be he never lost the belt.
And as the intro, even the intro to today's edition of the Great Wrestling Debate, of course, says how, it's unfortunate.
I mean, as far as dark horses go, I think Ziggler can win now. If Cena's the guy at Mania, I think you can definitely tell a story with Ziggler because Ziggler
Yeah.
can put us through the whole idea of,
can you imagine,
you know about how this is my year and then how I almost lost.
right.
You
he almost never got it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying maybe he turned Ziggler heel, although it would make sense now. He'd have a legitimate reason, Cena did stab him in the back and that might bring back the Authority. Grant Cena also brought his job back, so now it's kind of like, okay, well, he kind of cost him the job. Now they got the job back because of John Cena. So it's, do you really have any real grief from Cena now? But anyway, so I think that's a dark horse pick for me. But I don't. Ziggler, I think, can make the Final Four. I don't think he's going to win though.
Yeah.
If not Ziggler, I think Ryback can make the Final Four because I think he's coming.
That would
back
be
in the match
I
as
mean
well.
yeah.
But for me, I think Ryback's destiny is going to be giving Rusev his first loss, maybe.
Right. Yeah. We kind of said that before, and yeah, we can see that down.
In fact, I think Ryback's going to eliminate Rusev from the Rumble match.
yeah,
That's where the feud. That's where the feud picks up again. That's
kind of
that's
pick
where that feud picks up
pick
again.
that back up.
Because now all of a sudden it's like, well, Ryback can kind of start saying, Rusev's terrified of me.
Yeah.
He thinks now he finally is a guy that has his number now. Finally, his
Right.
streak's done.
Yeah.
So no, but who probably will win? I think is Reigns. I think they're actually gonna stick with their guns here.
Yeah.
And the fact that all three legends did not pick the guy almost to me
Yeah.
guarantees.
It's
now,
a bit
once again,
unfortunate.
I do not want to see it come down to Big Show and Roman Reigns in the final two.
Yeah.
Final four should be Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and Roman Reigns. If not, if you need a heel in there, Bray Wyatt should be the heel in there. He should definitely be in there for a long time.
Right. Yeah. Wyatt should
Especially if he's going to be quote unquote facing Undertaker at Mania this year. So, but at the end of the day, I think the final two is going to be down to Bryan and Reigns, which in Philadelphia means Bryan's going to be the biggest babyface in the arena. But at the end of the day, I think Reigns is gonna win the match. Although I think Bryan should win, and like I said, if not Bryan, my dark horse pick would be Ziggler. But the guy who should win is Bryan. The guy who will win is Roman Reigns.
All right, yeah.
So wrap it up. 32. They announced the breaking news. WrestleMania 32 will be taking place Dallas, Texas, AT&T Stadium. Would make sense why they announced it because Raw was at Dallas this year, so you know. The crew's already there. They can just do a quick interview in that.
Yeah.
Their goal is to fit 100,000 fans in there. They're hoping to make it one of the largest outdoor, crowds ever. That's one reason why. That's the only reason why they really like A&T Stadium because it can fit so many people.
And they're gonna have that big screen above them, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna.
That'll be interesting.
But I mean, but
yeah.
But I mean, you know what I mean? No, it's gonna be. It's been hyped.
Record attendance.
It's still gonna be record attendance. I mean. Obviously, the hyped up one has been 90,000 at the Silver Dome in WrestleMania 3. You know, it's supposedly it's like more like 70-something thousand was actually in the Silver Dome.
Yeah.
That was maybe skewed numbers.
Yeah.
Supposedly. That's supposedly what Meltzer said. I mean, Meltzer supposedly is actually seeing all of these actual attendance figures and that. Like, when Vince showed him the actual numbers in that, and he said, like, WrestleMania, it was not 90,000 in the Silver Dome.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was like 77,000 people, but They wanted to hype it up that they broke a record in that. So, but I think they can actually fit. I think actually 100,000 people in AT&T Stadium here. I think they actually can do that because that actually can fit a lot of people in that. And that's one reason why Jerry Jones built it. He wanted to build this massive stadium.
Yeah.
You know. So 32, and the fact that it's in Dallas, Texas, could I think mean if Taker does the rest of this year. This is his swan song. I think he's a native Texan.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he can come
He's
back.
He's not from Death Valley. He's from Texas.
Right, yeah.
So
maybe he can come back with like the American badass kind of character, out on the motorcycle.
I think once again you talk about K-Fab again.
Yeah.
I love that character. I think it was once again an evolution of that character. I've heard from stories that Vince hated that character. Because he goes from rest in peace to all of a sudden he's this normal guy now, kind of riding a motorcycle right now. And all of a sudden he goes back to being the dead man again.
Yeah.
With all this paranormal powers again.
Right,
so it's like, once again, it's wrestling, it can be done. I look at the character as his evolution here, but I know some people look at it as it's Taker breaking kayfabe here.
Yeah.
But I felt like we're actually getting the real Mark Calloway now. Because he actually does ride a motorcycle in real life. He does wear bandanas around his, I mean, so I felt like we're actually getting the real Mark Calloway, not just this gimmick guy. And not to mention, I think it proved that even Mark Calloway could get over just as much as the character Taker could.
Right.
So I actually have no problem with the American Badass gimmick. Yeah. I know some people do. I don't particularly think Vince hated it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not wrong there if they want to bring back the American Badass. I mean,
not only that, I mean,
I'm curious what theme song you go. You either go with the WWE one, which is "We're Going There," or you go with the Limp Bizkit "Roll and Roll and Roll and Roll," or the Kid Rock "I Am American Badass."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess that pretty much wraps it up for the Great Wrestling Debate. I mean, we pretty much have identical predictions except for. You have Seth Rollins cashing in after the triple threat match. We'll see what happens. Should be interesting.
And you also have Reigns down as you should and will win in that.
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, you're being consistent there because I do remember only from only after I think it was after Mania this year. We already made the prediction.
Oh yeah,
Reigns is probably gonna be the favorite to win Rumble next year.
Well, because he had that huge.
Here's another question too.
All the eliminations.
Here's another question. Do you think they also have him break his own elimination record as well? Which I think is 13.
I don't know. That might be overkill. That's the thing. Would you agree?
The Philadelphia fans. Oh, good God! Not only is this guy winning, he's gonna just toss it half the field out already.
Yeah, then he might really get booed out of the building. Yeah, no,
that's overkill.
That might be
overkill.
Yeah, I could imagine. Okay. Then people really, Super Reigns. I could see it. Yeah, so no, I mean he'll win, I guess, is my prediction. But,
yes.
But But you could, but I don't think he'll break his own elimination record. But I mean, I could make an equal case that I wouldn't mind Daniel Bryan winning as well. I mean, it's true. I mean, there could be more of a story there, and obviously, he's a trusted talent. But there's other guys, Bray Wyatt too. I mean, you could make a case to some extent, but I think most likely it'll be Roman Reigns. And
Okay.
And if they're gonna build him up, again, hopefully they give him better material for promos and everything, and maybe he can execute them. I guess to the intensity that they need to be executed to. So yeah, we'll see what happens though. And yeah, I wasn't in making this prediction. I wasn't even thinking about what we thought way back about our dark horse predictions, and but yeah, I mean, you kind of saw it coming, certainly. So we'll see what happens, I guess, and discuss it next week on the Great Wrestling Debate, as always.
Yes.
Should be very interesting. Should be an
The Rumble was always entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, and you got a big match.
I mean, it's always been a popular concept, but it's always a great moment, really. Yeah. And the fact that they haven't even confirmed half of the field yet means there's gonna be a few surprises probably.
Yeah. And again,
one in particular, maybe DDP's gonna show up.
Yeah. And again, this it should be a new face winning the Rumble this year, so that makes it interesting. Not a guy,
a part timer.
Yeah, not a part timer or somebody in
or someone established
late 30s or above or whatever. And again, I mean, the title match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship should be interesting as well, and there's different directions they can go there. So an interesting couple of main event kind of matches there for the pay-per-view. Other than that, I mean, I don't really care too much about the rest, but those two matches alone are a pretty big deal. So with that in mind, we'll discuss what happens next week at this week at the Royal Rumble.
Yep, plus Raw.
Next week on Raw, yes, and then discuss it as always right here on the Great Wrestling Debate as always. So thanks for tuning in. Send your comments and subscribe to us right here in the YouTube channel. Until next time, stay tuned for the Great Wrestling Debate.